Hello. I'm glad you're already here, Tenkai. I haven't even started up proper yet. I was setting up the new TV. Roaring T, I think it was short for Roaring Tyrant, but I can't remember exactly what. Oh, Roaring Thunder. What the hell am I talking about? Because all electric. And then O Knuckle is Overload. They're just the special weapons. Exactly. T like fancy T Rex. That's just the way it goes. I'm gonna see if a couple other folks show up first before I jump all the way in. But to show that it's a little more active, I will at the very least pop that off, and I will also activate Spook Watch. Right now we're on pause, so nothing is particularly scary. I'm still just getting a couple things set up. I have a new TV that I literally just hooked up 20 minutes before I started right now. So I had to go through the first time setup and shift some stuff around in my space and all that. But I'm pretty happy with how it is. I need to adjust a little more. Primarily making sure that the setup is such where I can monitor chat and volume and all that while also keeping an eye on gameplay with everything in a position where I can reach it easily because now I have a remote. My old TV didn't have a remote anymore. It got lost many a year ago. That's all set. Also, can I just say really fast that I do very much appreciate the regular hunter greeting. Don't think I haven't noticed and don't think I don't appreciate. All right. I think that's enough time for right now. Let's get back into it. Jesus, the difference between what I was using TV wise and what I am now using is overwhelming in a good way. I'm also gonna have to mess around a tiny bit with earlier settings just to make 100% sure
Welcome back.
that I don't have any new TV input lag or anything like that. Also, on the off chance when combat picks up, if anything seems to be particularly noisy or not well audio balanced rather, please go ahead and let me know. I would like to make sure that everything is being heard properly, and I've been messing with some more intricate settings lately. So if anything is off, I would rather know than not know. I don't remember if you were here for any of the first session of this last Saturday. So if you have any kind of confusion, which you almost certainly will, about what is going on, also let me know, and I'll be more than happy to try and choke out a response, because Control is a beast of a game. There's a lot going on, and almost all of it is quite bizarre. Furnace chamber, there we go. This is where we want to be. Pumps. So right now we are going to an area inside of our perfectly normal office building called BlackRock Processing. I actually don't remember if I'm supposed to go to it from this direction or not. It's been a little while, and our building doesn't have the most optimized floor plan, so bear with me while I kind of work my way over. At present, it looks like we're going to need to go back up through the power plant. And I also, speaking of noise and feedback, I have my window open for a little bit of cool air, so if you hear any road noise, it's far away from the microphone, and I think my audio canceling has been pretty solid so far, but if for whatever reason it becomes distracting, as I keep mentioning, just let me know. That's it. We want to be going up. Just need to remember precisely where the beginning of that staircase is. It might actually not be on this floor. I think we need to come in through ventilation, actually. So let's try that. No, that way's locked. I'm getting thrown for a loop here. Oh, I see. I am making a critical mistake as to which part of the building I am actually in. So that's where we are. And we want to be as close to the access corridor as possible, which actually should be this way. This is the peril of playing a couple things all at the same time. Maps blend together. Okay, this is where we want to be. Well, it's, geez, precisely where we came out. So I've basically just been running away from the objective this entire time. I'm very good. Or no, because the way out of here... I need to go to central maintenance. Which I guess... Oh my goodness. Apologize profusely. This is... the least interesting way to start this game out is just wandering around corridors with nothing going on. And I absolutely have nobody to blame but myself. Unless I can go in this direction through ventilation. Well, there's combat here, so this might be the way we need to go. Or at the very least, it's the way we need to go for something interesting to happen. Things have escalated quite rapidly. Right now I'm a couple upgrades deep in my telekinetics. So while it's not necessarily always this powerful right now, it most certainly is. It's one of my preferred things to start beefing up. I'm thinking if we go in through the janitor's office... No. I guess it would be through the energy converters. I'm trying to find precisely which door... So we're going over to where the yellow diamond check mark is. That is the portion of our workplace that we need to be for our current meeting. But unfortunately, all of the doorways that I'm finding are locked. I need to go to the Atlas Chamber, but that is not currently on the map. So I'm pretty positive it is literally just the one that is question marked. The horror, or at least the unusual, spooky, supernatural stuff is going to come in much more once you start seeing some more of the actual story. Right now, I'm between segments. And it is going to look a tiny bit more mundane, but things will get much stranger, much quicker once I pick up momentum and remember exactly where I'm supposed to be going. So we're going to try one last fast travel. We're going to go to the control room and work our way down to NSC energy converters, because I believe, if I'm reading the map topology correct, we are going to go south, again in our perfectly normal office building, as pictured by just this simple break room incident. Nothing to worry about there. If you see the up-down, the arrow, or the elevator icon, that is a little bit more south from where I am currently at on the map. I'm fairly certain there is a way to go beneath that elevator and make our way up that way. Gotta open this door really fast. Yeah. this way is leading to that control room. We don't want to go there. We want to go this way and down. This way and down. So that means that way. Botched an air dash. My apologies. I'm just testing the OSHA compliance of the office's railings. It's nothing to be concerned about. So I'm the director of the building, you see, so I need to make sure everything is up to code. It's all standard procedure. We have combatants. I'm not 100% sure what caused that just then. That feels like combatants. Feels like combatants with rockets. There you are. Goodness. There we go. Feeling better. There's more platform above us. Which means I need to find out the correct way to get up there. Aha! We've got it. We've got it. No trouble whatsoever. Just gotta wait on the elevator. Now, we are back on the right track. Hello, third viewer. I don't see you in chat yet, but I am happy that you're here. It's always a pleasure to have somebody else join me in the workplace. So we are where we need to be. I'm going to open up this locked path, or I am not, because I do not have level 5 access just yet. Like I said, I'm only the director of the building. That is not how our work works. Now that said, I think I have immediately come to another dead end. Let's figure out this is certainly the way I'm supposed to be, which means I somehow don't have an item that I require. So I'm going to go back to a fast travel point again. Almost certainly be faster if I just died to do that, but I don't want to go through any loading times. We will get this sorted. In fact, why don't we do something a little bit more on the exciting side? Where parapsychology. We can go towards parapsychology. I think that's within the realm of possibility right now. I'm just going to go help a couple coworkers out. Provided I can find the correct direction? Yep, it is the opposite way. We are helping the workplace out of a hard situation right now. Ideally doing so without taking too much damage in the process. Oh, that failed. Alright, I must not have gotten to the protective point quickly enough. That's a shame. But the important thing is we tried. Jokes aside for a moment, there is quite a lot more action here than I was expecting. Regroup for just a second. Wait for you. Ugh. I need to go take care of their buddy. Yeah, this is the one. Bit of a early combatant. Alright. We're in better shape. We can't heal. Now that I believe everybody has already been taken care of anyway. One more. Workplace is looking good, though. This is some killer OT. Thank you for noticing. I'm really putting the work in. It's all part of the director's job. Hand that back to you. And we're set. Okay, now let's get back to figuring out precisely why I do not have a level 5 key card. So by all rights, this is exactly where I am expected to be going. So we are going to head back to the boardroom really fast and see if we can't figure out what might be going on. Because of my unusual lack of credentials, I am going to upgrade us to Spookwatch level 1. Because nobody likes to get blocked at work, it's just not practical. Oh, that's fine. And I know that it's just business as usual.
Physical alterations in his corrupted organisms vary so wildly. What's the connection?
Ugh.
Hi, Jesse.
Darling's whereabouts. No. I need to figure this out. This is actually a little bit of a blocker. I'm at a loss for humor right now. I'm not sure what I'm missing. Unless there's a more intricate... Here we go. Commercial sends Jesse to Black Rock. Once HRA production is up and running again. Why don't we try a side mission instead? That might get us into the hands of somebody who knows exactly where our badge is. And just to have a little bit more beef. Why don't we do that as well? So we want to go right now to central maintenance. Yeah, that's Emily Pope. She is our informant at present. She's doing her best to keep us up to speed. Like I said, this is all just business as usual. And that is quite literally only half joke. The way this works is right now this is an office building. It is this company or organization's workplace, and all of this is pretty much just how things go for them. This particular event going on in the storyline is a extreme outlier, but the Federal Bureau of Control in the storyline deals with the paranormal. They deal with objects of power and phenomenons not too dissimilar to these friends right here who are popping up and causing OSHA violations and workplace disturbances and just generally not being very HR compliant. It's basically the X-Files. It's like X-Files, Warehouse 13. It's all kinds of what I like to call paranormal bureaucracy all rolled up into one extremely well put together action game. I guess action RPG to an extent. So all of that workplace-related joking that I'm doing is completely tied into how the game is presenting itself on purpose. It's one of the reasons why I love it so much. It's a very, very well-written game. So the Lady Chillin', Emily Pope, is basically just one of my employees. I remember this one. So we are going to go through
Welcome to the Ranger Field Training Course.
This training course, and we're going to get access to an object of power.
Is that all, or?
I always did love obstacle courses.
Get ready, Ranger. Course starting in 5.
I remember this taking a...
2.
In a way, Cabin in the Woods... Yeah, that's the terrible way of putting it. Okay, what am I... right.
45 seconds.
Ooh, I might need to work on my aim sensitivity right now. I haven't done this with the PS5 controller, and I'm just a little bit more...
30 seconds remaining.
Ow! I did grab you. Shit. This is almost certainly going to be a retry. Whoop.
15 seconds remaining.
Well, that's definitely it.
5 seconds remaining. Try again, Ranger.
Yeah, the control stick on the PS5 is very responsive almost to a fault. And the last time I did this particular side quest was on the PS4, which is just a slight bit more... I hesitate to say smooth because that sounds like negative, which I would not call this. Oh, there's red herring ones over here, I see. X7 is spooky in its own way. Oh, I was not even close. It does not look good. So we are definitely going to try this again, because these are worth valuable upgrades. But I am going to check some control sensitivity, which is appropriate. background. Oh, that's a cool setting. Horizontally, vertically. Aim mode, let's try reducing that just a little bit. Alright, that feels a little better. We'll see how that goes.
Ready, Ranger. Course starting in 5.
I am tempted to do a little bit of X6 if I have some time, because that all centers on a phenomenon called the nightmare. And that's very spooky. This is already feeling much, much better. Still not the fastest, but I'm not a speedrunner and have never once claimed to be one. But we also... Oh, I need you to come back. Well, that's not great.
30 seconds remaining.
Come on, energy bar. Nope, not the bag of sand. We need... yes. Good. Let's keep it up, see what we can do. We might be able to salvage this. Nope, no, we're not. We are...
5 seconds remaining.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Course failed. Try again, Ranger.
We are doing better, though. Oh, yeah, that. Extra bad. I would have just sat there wondering. I do not want this to paint the game's control in a bad light by any means. This is definitely just me being out of practice. I'll give this one more shot. That's a lie. I'm probably going to do this more than once.
Course starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
It's a good way to warm the stream up, and it is equally a good way for me to get back into the finer points of the combat. My god, I am an embarrassment.
45 seconds remaining.
Oh man, just awful. Let's drop her this time.
30 seconds remaining.
Not the best. This is fine. We're recovering. Almost botched it once again.
15 seconds remaining.
I don't think it's impossible from here in 15, but we are still making positive progress.
5 seconds remaining. Course failed. Try again, Ranger.
Fuck you, awkward voice recording.
Well, we're getting some very good dialogue, too, so I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead... and try this. Hope if I hit the button.
Get ready, Ranger. Course starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Five seconds remaining.
My god, please, just the generators, I'm begging you. Alright. Much better, much better, much better.
15 seconds remaining.
Oh, let's go!
Course complete. Congratulations, Raymond.
Right.
Guessing this isn't usually part of the course.
Now, again, we are in a perfectly normal workplace, and nothing unusual is happening here. What happens if I approach you? Nothing good, I'm sure.
I need to hit it harder to break that shield.
Object, is there an explosive in here? There is an explosive in here. And there we have it. Just gonna quickly deal with this as is my job description. So at present, we are on the astral plane, or in the astral plane. And the combatants that are present cannot be killed right now. That's not always the case. But we now have a very specifically powerful new guard ability, which is an extension of our board-certified telekinetic abilities. And we're going to use that to deal with the fact that we can't shoot these ethereal beings who just happen to be highly armed. Like I said, it's all part of the job. I actually forgot just how particularly good that defensive ability is, and I'm going to be working on a couple upgrade trees to beef that up, because as you would expect, if I am capable of pulling up debris and throwing it, and my defense is pulling up debris and holding it, then almost, without question, I am going to be able to throw that shield, once I am sufficiently upgraded. So I would say
Good time to have a shield.
that was a worthy detour. If I'm remembering right, those particular snipers are just instant kills. Excuse me, had to mute for a sneeze. We now should be ready to leave. We are ready to leave. Now that said, we still need to figure out where our level 5 clearance is situated. It should be coming from an actual story event. You don't find keycards just laying around. It is also likely that I just haven't found the correct access way just yet. I am going to go ahead and assume that me being stupid missed out on it because I did not go through this particular direction. Overkill that, gentlemen. Because this way is directly connected. Excuse me, sir. That wasn't great. Is directly connected to where we need to be going. Whoa! Rather not get cycled back. Your health filaments, please and thank you. Where did that rocket come from? I don't think it was him. Anyway. Now this is the correct direction. Now, I need to point out again that this is our standard workplace. We are in an office building that has a real-world address that is in the middle of New York City. And at present, I am encountering another roadblock. Maintenance at Atlas chamber. Why am I having so much trouble with this? I think there might be a bridge control in here. As you do. Because this way is directly off from a primary elevator. Please climb. I know this isn't... I'm just going to use the stairs. We're just going to use the stairs. Might need to go talk to my boss, the janitor. Ah, yes. Never mind, I remember. Just need to deal with this room. Plug you. We need one more, which we can take from down here. I believe that shouldn't be a problem. I don't think we need to keep all of these powered up. So let's just yoink this one. Got hung up. There. All just a matter of following our training. Aha. Okay, so we're going to make a quick detour to another portion of our workplace, which is, of course, the Ocean View Motel and Casino entry point. The law of three applies. Ritual attunement required. Agent must orient an anchor motel to their personal frequencies. It's all just in the field manual. You really don't have to worry about it as long as you're following your training. So that's 1, 2, and now we are where we need to be. And we need to go into this particular room, but as usual, it's locked. That's usually how this goes. So we're just going to have to go ahead and wander around. 1, 2, 3. Is that the 3 that we needed to do this time? It's not. That's fine. I am sure that proper investigation will yield the result that we need. Ah, I remember this one. Okay, so room 224 is a little bit out of sorts. So we're just going to be helpful and figure out how to help. So we gotta straighten that. That's no trouble. And if I'm not mistaken... No, it's not the blinds. Oh, yes it is. We need to get the radio where it's supposed to be. I believe that'll do it, but let's make absolutely sure, because the rule of threes does apply. Plant and book. Ah, yes, okay. We need to sort that out. If I'm not mistaken, should be all set, because that was 3 movements. No, not quite yet. Maybe I do need to shift the chair. What do we got? Maybe it isn't the chair at all. It might be something to do with what is on the desk. Now, see, the chair shouldn't be pushed in. What other object? Oh, that's right. Now the door's open. We have the key. Because we had to go into the 3rd room, you see. It's really simple stuff. So now we can get into this room, which last time was the projector showing the hotline chamber, another very important part of our work. But now we are going to go 1, 2, and back to Blackrock Processing, where we have an extended bridge. I'm going to make a quick detour this way, because this is just going to be a bit of a shortcut back the way we need to go. That was simply fall damage. We don't need to worry about it. There are no more OSHA uncompliant workers firing rockets in our direction. And we are going to progress into the next part of our professional workplace. Want to be going to the Atlas chamber.
Okay, we need to find a way to Black
It's quite helpful.
That's where Marshall said
quick
we'd find a prism.
Stop. Pick up some goodies. And granted, we're not going to read over on the stream, but it feels good to be picking up the additional content.
Reminder, if the contents of your workspace have been rearranged, removed, added to...
You never know when you might need some extra files at work after all.
Immediately leave the area while speaking to yourself.
Can't open that door just yet. Not a problem. We're already past where we need to go. Just had to make a quick stop through the window instead. And there's nothing in the women's room of note. So we are going to make our way to the Atlas chamber. While doing a quick investigation first. Who knows what the correct direction might be? The office is quite regularly a bit on the temperamental side and might have shifted. But that's fine. We know how to deal with that. Help out some coworkers momentarily. While this kind of danger is a part of their day-to-day, everybody likes getting a little bit extra help sometimes, you know? Sometimes a work day is just a little bit tough, and an extra hand can't hurt. Just take this around the corner, offer it up to this gentleman right here. Take care of him. Got one of you. I didn't even notice you. There we go. How are we doing? Still got a little bit of opposition, it seems. I'm going to go check out upstairs. Absolutely sure that nobody's causing our team any trouble. This is a professional work environment after all. Alright. We managed to do that with 2 coworkers. That's above half, so we're going to call that a successful job. We're just going to go meet up with yet another coworker. Quickly review some documents about the astral plane. Just in case. It's always helpful to brush up. I believe I went the wrong direction. There we are. Don't have to worry about going into that shelter because nothing required will be in it.
You're still you.
Ranger Squad Charlie 7 returns.
We're gonna pick this up.
They've each taken a few hits. Just after
We need to get
And
to
we're
a
going to
certain
speak with our buddy Arish.
I don't think they're stable enough.
the purpose of your expedition.
Now we're actually proper, for real this time on track.
But we are barely holding on here, boss. How's the situation outside maintenance?
What do I tell him? The truth is harsh, but these people seem familiar with death.
The Hiss are everywhere. Most of the Bureau is lost. We need Blackrock.
From an actual serious gameplay perspective moment, I really appreciate the fact that the other tertiary conversation is still going on, because nobody would stop talking in this kind of a dire scenario. It's almost likely that it's a bug, but I appreciate the fact that it is the way it is, because it makes it feel a little bit more immersive as far as a living environment goes. If you can call the few survivors of this particular workplace incident as a busy workplace, or a particularly full and lively workplace, as pictured.
He took a security team into the containment sector just before the lockdown happened, and well, no one's seen him since. But hey, at least we got you, our fearless leader.
They shouldn't rely on me. They don't know me. They don't know how I've failed people.
You've done a good job here, Arish, but you should take your people and get to the base and executive. You can regroup there. I'll go deal with this monster. I'm getting kind of used to them.
Aye, aye, Faden. And be sure to put a bullet in that thing for me.
Burrish is delightful. He's not the head of security, but he is doing the best he can. We are going the only way we can go. Can't go. Yeah, it really is the only way we can go
I
at
wish we
present.
wasn't kidding about that monster.
Now, I believe, yeah, we're going to get the level 5 key card once we take care of this particular portion. And I believe this particular portion is actually a little bit more
And the
beefy
machine that makes them.
than
Can you help me find a
I
prism?
would prefer. Probably would have been helpful if I had checked some of my upgrades first. But we're just going to roll with it. Adaptability comes with the job as well.
They're shattered. What the fuck?
So this black rock is locally sourced. It is a particularly important portion of what we are doing at present, which I can explain in just a bit more detail as soon as I deal with this blocker, as it were. Particularly friendly thing to deal with. The throwing forklifts tends to be pretty impactful, so to speak. But yeah, BlackRock is locally sourced, as I was mentioning. It's particularly important to make the HRAs, which is what is preventing those still actively working with us in a positive manner to be acting with us in a positive manner. Jesse doesn't need one because Jesse is particularly special. But we are going to need to get a couple more specific pieces of BlackRock. And we are going to do that in the quarry momentarily.
We call these areas thresholds. The quarry is one of the more stable thresholds in the maintenance.
And we're going to learn about the quarry right now.
That's where BlackRock comes from.
You heard that too, right?
Dimensional matter.
Black rock comes from a threshold quarry. So the prisms must be there too.
Contained. Think of it as paranatural lead. Our research involves many dangerous things we absolutely need to keep in check. That's what the BlackRock line fire breaks are about. The panopticon container cells.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but I need the code for the quarry elevator.
Oh, Emily. The codes. BlackRock 665. Neighbor of the Beast.
Darling is delightful, and who we are currently looking for in the grand scheme of things. He's more aware of what is currently going on and has gone missing, for those of you who weren't here last time. So, going out of our way to find that friendly gentleman. And,
This should get us into the quarry.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, we do! We have our level 5. That is what I want to see. And we're back to the elevator. So we're going to go to the quarry.
Everything here is crazy. Weird.
Now, once again, I want to point out that we are in our workplace. It's called the Oldest House, and has, again, not a joke, a real New York City address. It's based on a building that actually exists. As far as I'm aware, not actually really the Federal Bureau of Control, but based on the story, I might just not know any better. We went up in that elevator. We have not gone down in quite a while. So, at present, we are ascending a tower that is in the middle of Manhattan. And I just want to go ahead and point out particularly how large the interior of this building is, while I deal with a little bit more hostile workplace-related issues. Give me just a moment. So, it really goes a long way to do some really cool environmental storytelling. It is obviously just an instance of bigger on the inside than on the outside, which obviously Doctor Who and other sci-fi, mild or whatever other horror franchises have been doing for quite a long time. But all of the story behind it is very cool. It's not ever particularly in a position that's just, oh, it just is, and we're not going to explain anything else to you. That's just the joke. Granted, it is covered with a very high mysterious aura, but there's a lot of backing behind it. Like, he was explaining that kind of, the quarry is that type of a space. And it's particularly stable, which is going to come into play when we actually arrive. But I very deeply appreciate how much they put into making it a very full, cohesive experience. We are going to beef up our shield strength, because that is going to let us beef it up one more time. And we might not be able to do this right away. Okay, we're going to need to wait. We're going to save up to do it. But we are going to get Shield Barrage as soon as we possibly can, because, my god, is that a particularly powerful ability. We're also going to take a quick look at weapon forms, because as it turns out, we can upgrade. No, we can't. Let me see. Need Source, Ritual Impulse, Hidden Trend. I have enough Ritual Impulses to do both. Or I could make Pierce. Let's go with Pierce right now. So we have constructed a new form of our service weapon. That is the name of the gun we've been using. I don't know if calling it a gun is correct, but that's an easy shorthand for anybody that hasn't been properly trained. And now we are also going to go ahead. We're going to hold off on any of that. We are going to run through our equipment really fast. Shatter is particularly good. I'm a fan of it. So I don't know if I want to take it off immediately. I'm going to take a quick look through here. Want personal loadouts that are going to be helpful. Launch efficiency. That's going to carry us quite a bit. They all seem to be about the same potency, so we're just going to go with the first one. And just for the time being, we're going to swap from our very trusty shotgun to our newly constructed Pierce. We are going to give Pierce, let's see, a zoom boost, armor damage. That sounds good. Let's go with the armor damage. So now, our service weapon has been upgraded in a meaningful way. We are going to test that out from a distance by checking its shield penetrating properties. Particularly good. If you'll notice, the service weapon is always the same weapon that simply changes form. Make sure that none of these blows are interrupting, and we're going to interrupt ourselves by falling to our death pretty quickly. I always forget that you can get right through those railings, and as everybody knows, not being OSHA compliant is a little bit more spooky than a level 1, so we're going to upgrade that pretty quickly. Not at all because we're about to be dealing with another particularly, let's say, potent portion of the workplace. In a strange way, it actually looks like dying helped us out there because there are no combatants left. And I'm totally fine with that. Move along. It is not that way, it is this way. Let's just hop over here really fast and pick up this collectible that I didn't know for sure was there, but had a pretty safe feeling because it's a modern video game and there was a path beyond the path we were going. And it looks like, once again, we're just going to have to call an elevator really fast.
Elevator's broken. Gotta get down the old-fashioned way.
Elevator's not going to cooperate, that's fine. Luckily, this is a service elevator because it runs to the quarry that we're going to. So we're just going to take some maintenance approaches. We're going to do so in a way that is more conducive to safety than getting blown up by more non-compliant personnel. That's not a problem. We're prepared for that kind of obstacle. Just gonna take care of you ahead of time. To the best of our abilities, anyway. Do believe that was the only one. So I think if that type of hiss self-detonate, they don't drop anything useful like health shards. But we're actually not doing too bad on that right now, as long as we don't take any undue fall damage. Looks like this is the way we want to be going. Outstanding. We are here. Thank you very much. Anybody else present? I had a feeling. I'm going to need you to come this way, and well, why not? Cleanse this control point. Going to be able to fast travel as soon as we do. Sort the building out a little bit more. It's a little messy at present, so we want to make sure we're helping to keep our workspace clean and organized. And now we should have working access for that elevator, should the need arise. But we're now able to enter the quarry. You do. We're gonna do our best to shave through some of the opposition that's right in front of us. And do an effective job of doing so, if I do say so myself. Pardon me. Shields are particularly vulnerable to thrown objects, which is again information that might have come up last time, but not this time. I'm more than happy to get everybody up to speed. Workplace training is important after all. There's quite a bit of opposition in this particular portion of the quarry right now because we just arrived and they don't want that to be the case. recharge period, if you will. We're gonna just continue dealing with this opposition best we possibly can. Well, I was about to say I think we're all set, but we are not. Sir, thank you. Now let's progress back deeper into the quarry. Now again, a reminder for everybody paying attention. We have still not exited the building. At least not in the traditional sense. Cannot go either of those ways. That's just fine. We have a couple more options afforded to us right now. If I'm remembering correctly. Real quick. Make sure that this is, in fact, the way I want to be going. Where's my... It is not. That's the way to the furnace. We don't want to be going that way just yet. So I'm glad I double-checked that. We could have lost a fair deal of progress. Now, hold on. I don't think I should be in a position where I can lose progress that way. But there is a chance that we might need to go down this way, and we did just activate a control point, which means we'll be able to fast travel in case this is putting us off the beaten path. So why don't we just head a little bit farther down for the time being, just to see if this ends up being a particularly helpful direction. It's not. This is a hidden location, and one that we are not particularly well equipped to deal with at this time. We're going to leave as quickly as we possibly can because it is more dangerous than I am comfortable dealing with right now. As soon as... There we go. I might need to reload a checkpoint, depending on whether or not I can figure out another way around the very silly jump discovery that I made. I think the issue right now is just that I did it a little bit too early, because I do remember going down there on a previous playthrough. I do remember being able to get back out. So this certainly should not be an issue. Yeah. I see. There we go. Sometimes it just takes that little bit of extra effort, just like with any workplace. So now we can enter the quarry a little bit deeper. If it weren't for the fact that that was already the direction I was sort of going. I believe I want to be doing it this way? No, that is the way that I was going. So I think that means... I can't open that. I can't open that. Then I want to go up somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I'm going this way. I am going this way. But as I was saying earlier, like I mentioned, in the traditional sense, we have not left the building yet. We're still very much inside the oldest house, as pictured by this normal office space. Just a standard working environment. Really nothing too noteworthy. It is Manhattan after all. Architecture is quite variable at times. You know, as you do. So anyway. We have found the quarry. And now we need to get some particular crystals out of it. And we're going to try and do that in an effective, well-processed way, as best we can help it. Not mistaken, that is it. We're going to be reactivating, energizing rather, these explosives in order to continue standard mining operations. Again, pretty standard stuff. We're going to do it from the high ground on the off chance that we begin to meet more opposition than we would like. Because, a quarry is an open and dangerous position. And safety is always in everybody's best interest. So we've re-energized those. Now I just need to get to the activation point. Which at present is being rudely blocked. But we should be able to handle things nicely. To get rid of that mass as quickly as I'm able. Luckily, we have a new toy to play with. Unluckily, cornered by a particularly capable opponent. Certainly some of the difficulty I was remembering from the last time I dealt with this, because my goodness, that is more than one of you. Why don't we take a wide loop around and see what we can muster that way. Oh, or we'll just take a rock to the face and go from there.
This should get us into the quarry.
How are we looking? Not quite where we need to be for abilities just yet. Unfortunately, we're going to need to fight through this area again. But on the upside, that should net us a little bit more work experience, which is going to teach us how to use our skills more efficiently. Hear you. Alright. Wasn't what I was going for, but you do look heavy. Unless, is that already it? No joke, I actually did it. There you are! Ah, there you are. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Let's get back down to that quarry and try again. Now that we know that more of that opposition opens up, should be able to path ourselves just a little bit better.
Oh, not what I expected.
And unsurprisingly, the quarry is quite cavernous. So we do have a fair number of movement options and locations at our disposal. So why don't we try moving in just a little bit of a different direction this time, as soon as... There we are. Things are feeling a little bit more cooperative. Oh, hey, would you look at that? We actually are still in good shape that way. So let's clear our path to the activation switch. Preferably without getting shot by rockets. Sometimes these things are unavoidable. Alright. Let's go up and around. Seems like we're in more favorable position, so let's go ahead and complete this task that somebody had to leave behind before they went on a union break, I'm assuming. Now, a bit more to take care of. Oof, that was unfortunate. Jokes aside, jokes aside, jokes aside, I would like... Nope. To get into a more favorable position. I did not expect that to blow up right in my face.
Darling's key. This should get us into the quarry.
How are we feeling abilities? We are not. Well, that's just... Oh, interesting. This time we didn't get the respawn. So I'm wondering if that was clearing out an encounter that we would have had on the way back because we ended up back after entering the quarry. If that's the case, I'm okay with it. Because that just means that our means of exit are that much safer.
Not what I expected.
And if this holds up the same way as it did, then this should still be detonated. It is. Which means we can take the high ground, drop down more safely, oh, I forgot about that. I can't hold that indefinitely. That's fine. Unlimited ammo is helpful. Oh man, I'm gonna need you to stop doing that targeting. That's exactly what got me killed last time. Send that back your way. And fire another? Would appreciate it. Keeping an eye on both of you. Yes. And I'm just gonna play it safe this time. Or as I can anyway. Very good dodge. Can't be mad. Prevent that from going off. Save the energy a little bit. We are still extremely wounded, so we want to be playing this safe and distant. Emphasis on the safe. Where did our friend the mass go? very well guarded. I appreciate the commitment. I don't appreciate the difficulty. We are at present currently in a position where a light breeze will kill us. So I would definitely like for things to cool off at least slightly. That's what we want. Want an opponent near enough by to top us off in just a slight bit. That was particularly helpful timing as well, because we just shielded through another opponent. We're gonna have some more explosive enemies. We're just gonna bowl right over. Yeah. Some particularly beefy opponents remaining. Unfortunate telekinetic opposition. Let our ammo come back and play it slow and steady. That is one down. We're going to deliver this one back to its ally to show that there are, in fact, no hard feelings. And now, short of any other incursion, we should be in a pretty good position right now. Pick that up, just to have it. Got some health on the way out, just in case, because those are fairly persistent. And we have what we came for.
And there it is, right where you led me. The HRAs, the prisms, they mean something to you. I need to get this prism to Marshall before it's too late. HRAs, then Dylan.
Oh, that's right. There is just that much more opposition coming up. You're going to want to avoid these visitors. They're not particularly OSHA compliant. And unfortunately, there is no way to deal with them. I'm going to go up this way and see if we can't open up this alternate pathway. Should make repeat visits just a little bit more convenient. Looks like we've got just a tiny bit more opposition to deal with upon exit. If we can help it, I'd like to steer them clear of things. It does not look we're going to be like that lucky. Take a slightly wider way around. And we are going to exit via this. We're gonna fast travel. And I see that I've gotten some OSHA notifications, so I'm gonna take a quick look at that. First off, thank you so much for your time and cooperation. Before I go, I do need to say I've logged over 1,337 OSHA violations, but I'm sure you'll be able to get this place back up to code. You're the real heroes. Thank you again for your time, and have a great night. I appreciate your extra investigation, Ben. It has been quite helpful, and I believe that with your review, we are going to have a much more secure workplace by the next time you are able to swing by and investigate again. And we are going back to Central Executive, and we're just going to do that the quick way. And if I'm not mistaken, that is right.
Any word on survivors?
We've located numerous safe rooms with survivors inside.
Making just that little bit of progress.
But
Once we can safely
I
bring them
found
out,
plenty.
the survivors will be escorted here straight away.
Here.
We will start HRA production immediately. I promised I'd tell you about Dylan once you helped us.
This is it. She knows. 17 years I've waited.
Your brother is here. He was once known as Prime Candidate 6, codename P6. We brought him here after the ordinary event. He was groomed to be the future director. He had talents far beyond any other candidate in the program.
Of course he did. We found you together. We share a bond. Are you with him now?
So you kidnapped him.
We took him in. Your parents vanished along with every other adult in Ordinary. Eventually, his power changed him. There were casualties. He wasn't fit.
So for context, Dylan is her older brother,
Is this why you
who was
didn't
taken by the
leave
Bureau,
you
as
keep
kind of
him
mentioned.
away?
Um,
Is Dylan?
as a child, when they encountered an object of power in their hometown as children. So she was not taken, her brother was, and she has been trying to find the Bureau ever
What
since.
if we are?
I'm going. Now.
I expected as much. I need to go check on something. Something I cannot let the Hiss find. It shouldn't take long, but you must watch the Bureau while I'm gone. And remember, Dylan is dangerous. Do not let him out, Director Faden.
How do I make her stop calling me that? I'm not here for them. Nothing simple
I
here.
am particularly excited for this next portion. There's a lot of really cool side stuff that we should be able to do on the way to this main objective.
Are they my enemies or my friends? I need to see Dylan. I need to know. I wish you could tell me what you know, explain things. Just stay with me, okay?
We're going to venture even deeper.
I could use a friend right now.
In order to find the person that we have been looking for 17 years. Outstanding. Let's get the very, very helpful ability. To use the shield as a weapon. And let's beef it up that much more. Absolutely down for that. Still don't have enough house memories to upgrade. The grip. Can we make them? I do believe we have a way to make that happen, but I can't recall right off the top of my head, and that's fine.
Pope wants us to compile all of
So before we go down to the Panopticon,
This is Lynn Salvador.
there is one more. Just cleared that information out. There is one more specific side quest that should net us a new ability. Just like we got with Guard, which I want to point out again was off of the Golden Path. That
Jukebox doesn't
is
bring
in
books back,
research
I'm having the jukebox
in the
play.
hypnosis lab. And I want to say we should have more means of getting there properly this time. Want to be... Astral exhibition. I want to say parapsychology is going to be the way to go. Welcome or welcome back, new viewer. I'm glad to have you, even if I haven't seen you in chat just yet. That is fine. Right now, we are on our way to find the location of a subquest, which should net us some new abilities that will help us greatly in the workplace. Clean away from that. This is Control. It is one of my favorite console games of the last, really, generation and a half at this point. It is all about one of my favorite spooky genres, which I like to call either paranormal or, any variation of that type of thing. Paranormal bureaucracy, so things like Warehouse 13, The X-Files, any instance of this kind of bonkers, otherworldly type stuff being the norm, being how the workplace operates, is really one of my favorite ways to channel horror and otherworldly type stuff. And so this entire game is based around the Federal Bureau of Control, and it is all taking place within one office building called the Oldest House, which is in New York, canonically. It's in Manhattan, and it is based on a real building with a real address that you can Google Maps right now, which after this combat encounter, because I keep mentioning that, I will pull up to tell interested parties about. I keep taking rockets to the face, so you're going to bear with me a moment. Not a problem now. So it is very much weird, where all of the characters involved are part of an organization where weird is the workplace. The events of the game are all particularly extreme. This is a bunch of stuff spiraling out of control because of one particular supernatural event that is triggering the release of other supernatural artifacts and beings that the Bureau have already successfully contained. So picture something, I guess, more modern, like SCP, except instead of it being a monster, it is a possessed printer. Or safe. In fact, the ability that I got last on side quests is my block ability, which I got out of a safe that was protecting itself via powers that are probably safe. I just upgraded my guard to be a projectile weapon because that's just the kind of psychic the director of the Federal Bureau of Control is capable of doing. Right now we are trying to find an area called the X-ray lab in order to get another ability, but at present the map is not being particularly cooperative about making that happen. It also sounds like there might still be some combatants down here. There are, in fact, still some combatants down here. Let's bottleneck that just a bit. Okay. And we're handled. No, we're not. No, we are not handled. That is so many more opponents. Is this just because I left? My god, this is a busy room. That enemy down there is the sphere. Is called a hiss cluster. The enemies as a whole are called the hiss because that is the, as of yet, unexplained paranormal instance that is possessing our kind coworkers to be hostile in the work environment, let's say. We are doing everything we can to remedy, particularly funny because that's the name of the studio that made the game, the situation. We have to not get hung up and blown up. Thank you. My god, this is a busy room. There's the hypnosis lab. We've found the right direction. I would still like to clear all of this crap out, though. A lot of grenade users. Did not switch weapons. Alright. Didn't realize that those would not hot swap before... Oh, my goodness. Before lowering my aim. Let's weave, let's protect ourselves, and let's test out our new ability to throw our shield. Feels good. But yeah, I'm particularly glad that somebody actively unfamiliar with Control is here to watch, because this is one of those games, I explained this a little bit last week as well, that was received remarkably well. Everybody that played it absolutely loved it. It is a darling on the console. It is on PC now as well. But nobody ever talks about it. It was received great. It was reviewed great. It sold great. It actually sold so well that not only is it getting another sequel, but it is the reason that Alan Wake 2 is a thing, because this is directly tied into Alan Wake's setting.
I see it.
And yet, for whatever reason, until I really started looking around the PlayStation Store for sales and stuff, it had never really crossed my mind to pick up. So, that's an X-ray machine. And all of these fine employees are pretty transfixed by this X-ray machine. So we are going to do what we can to get inside and figure out exactly what might be going on with this X-ray machine. And then we should be getting a nice reward out of that. We are going to go in here. I believe we're simply going to hit this switch and unlock the door. No, I'm sorry. We are going to activate a Newton's cradle. Still helpful. Here's the switch we need. So the control unit... Okay, we need a password. You'll see how these passwords work in just a moment, but right now, brute forcing that is not going to happen. So we have to search and see what we can find. That is looking pretty good. So you see right there, that's our password. So we need solid outlines. And then, perfect. Those are a little bit trickier than they look. It has to do with the input on the D-pad. If you hit left, right, up, or down, then that direction's corresponding outer bar will fill in, but all of them will rotate the center portion clockwise, so you need to figure out the right pattern to make it fill out the pattern that you want to be filled out. What do we have to say about this particular phenomenon?
And you are aware that exposure to the astral plane...
So we are going to be going into the astral plane. I'm excited, Goofy Goober, for you to check this out in particular, because as of right now, we haven't left the building in the traditional sense. The area that we were, the Black Rock Quarry, if you were here for any of that, is sort of an exit, but not in the traditional sense. We are now going to go somewhere else. And we are going to do that for the good of our employees as director of the Bureau. So we are going to seize to complete the astral plane challenge. right now, this is the astral plane. In most media, the astral plane is a mental space. This is a physical location, and the Bureau, as of now, has not really figured out exactly what that means. The only consistent factor is that the Black Pyramid is always present. It does not matter where in the astral plane you are, you're always near the Black Pyramid. Find another way to defeat this enemy. Enemies at low health can be seized. Well, they can be seized when you're not dead. I wasn't expecting them to hit quite as hard as they did, but that's just fine. We'll respawn and we'll take care of it. Because now we know. Seize is going to be a particularly useful tool. So I am excited to regain access to it. As soon as you round the corner again, please and thank you. There we go. So we are just going to control this opponent. He is now going to fight on our side. Just for good measure, why don't we do that more than once? So now we got a couple buddies. Thankfully, workplace resources are bountiful. So we're just going to keep doing what we need to do in order to complete the task at hand. Our allies took out the gold enemy that we ourselves could not, and we are now capable of doing this. I am playing on a PS5 right now. It is remarkably clean. Control has always been a very good-looking game. PS4, and in particular, I played on the regular PS4. I never picked up a Pro, so the 5 was quite an upgrade for me that way. It looked about this good, but it did not perform well. They really wanted to push it. And when they did the PS5 port, they actually completely changed the engine, so it performs that much better on all of the PS5's fancy graphical settings. Also, we took care of the X-ray machine, but unfortunately, doing so overloaded our allies. But at least it won't harm anybody else. And now we have a particularly new potent ability, which, because this room will never, ever, ever stop being this much of a pain, we're going to do a little bit of testing. I'm going to need you to give me a hand. Why not some extra hands? That feels absolutely excellent. Are you not low enough? No, well, alright. Oh, well, that was it. There we go. The targeting can be a little bit wonky on some of these abilities, but overall it's still a very cohesive experience. I definitely appreciate that a lot of that jank is born out of the fact that it is a pretty intensive, intricate game with a lot of physics involved. What in particular is casting this? I don't usually like seeing that kind of fog. Okay, abilities. Can we use evade? No, I don't want that. I would like to get to seize an additional enemy quickly, so let's start down this upgrade path. And we'll keep working on that. Alright, so now we're good to go back to the Golden Path. Parapsychology elevator. No, that's not the type of elevator that we are looking for. Can't go that way just yet, I don't believe. That's fine. We don't have any other bonuses we want to take care of right now, so we're going to fast travel back to Central Executive. It's all the way at the top of the list. And then we're going to take the main elevator back down to Golden Path. And depending on what we get up to there for the final hour of the stream, we might just have to ratchet up the Spook Watch rating. But we'll see as we go. The Panopticon is located in the containment sector. So that's where we're going to go.
Containment sector.
Being spoken to by the previous director, who we found dead, presumably by suicide in his office. That is how we got the position, as you do.
Dangerous.
It's okay, though. He's been giving us workplace advice. It's always good to have on-the-job training, after all. Flyers as efficiently as we possibly can, because they can be quite difficult to deal with. In fact, if I can get close, I would like to have you assist me in some air-to-air combat, if you would be so kind. Since you just arrived, I will give you the vital information that shielded opponents are particularly weak to thrown objects. Information that might not matter at the rate that I am taking damage. Gonna go ahead and get some fire support. Particularly helpful grab, too, I believe. Right now, the upgrade tree that I'm working on involves that ability, because I would, as soon as I can, like the ability to grab more than one ally at a time, because right now, if I weaken another ally and mind control them to work in my favor once again, which they would be under normal circumstances anyway, the previously controlled one is finished off. They are relieved of duty, so to speak. And, okay, I'm going to make a mad dash for this healing, which is good because it is still quite dangerous out there, as it turns out. Keep shields whittled down by using kinetic abilities. Swap that down. We're going to take you through your shield because it's just going to help with the opposition. Looks like we're in pretty good shape right now. Thank you, officer. Sector elevator is that way, which means we are going deeper towards logistics. And we are about to have to deal with them. So if I can help it, let's see if we can get a bit of an early start. We most definitely can. Wait. Soften you up. Let's bring you back to the proper side and work on giving you some support from the high ground. So, Goofy, Goofy Goober, again, whichever you prefer, you will notice that this particular part of our workplace is a little bit out of sorts. Again, we are in our building. So what I'm about to do, once I have cleared all of the hostile portions of the work environment out of the way, is I am going... Excuse me. Thank you. I am going to take back this control point, and that is going to sort things out in this room. We're going to go a little bit more back to normal, just to make sure that everything stays OSHA compliant. That is now also a fast travel point, as all of them are. It's one of the main nodes, which is helpful. That means we're going to be able to come back to this containment sector much quicker than taking a standard elevator. I'm also going to close my window since it sounds like there's a fire. Pros and cons of living near a fire department. We've been getting some pretty good work out of our newly minted sniper-type weapon. That form of the service weapon, as it is called, which, again, if you weren't here for the previous explanation, is the trusty sidearm that can be and do just about everything. We are going to make our way through security as soon as I remember exactly how to do so, and venture deeper into this portion of the area. Maybe the medical wing is where we need to go. Based on what I'm seeing, medical wing seems like a safe bet. Wasn't fast enough with the throw. I was kind of hoping he'd flinch from behind, but what can you do? You'll notice from these loading screens that there's also quite a lot of interesting imagery on top of all of the brutalism, which is the name of the type of architecture that you're seeing all over the place, just harsh concrete. There is also a mix of quite a lot of live acting and footage, which I'm a huge fan of design-wise. Which you should see more of not too terribly far from now, at the rate that I'm going. Both of you. This wheelchair should be enough. It is. Let's get a fire team going. Trying to move to a more safe position. Continue giving people seats as needed. Right now, the benefit of this ability is really less the additional firepower it provides, and more the fact that it removes a combatant from the field and has them act as, if anything else, another target for the swarms of enemies to fire on. And once they are taken out, as I kind of mentioned, they are removed from combat. Which is helpful in that it prevents them from coming back and being hostile again. We're going to continue through the medical wing, an area which, that's right, has these very charming enemies in it. I am going to very quickly swap from Pierce, as much as I do enjoy it, over to Shatter, which is particularly helpful when dealing with things like zombies. Projectiles fired +3, Shatter recoil efficiency 20. At present, ours is 9, so we are going to swap over to that. While I'm in here, let's see what we've got. I've had quite a few other pickups. hurt. Reload speed, ammo, cost per shot, ammo refunded on hit. I think cost per shot is probably going to be pound for pound of the best. We're going to swap over to Shattered. Try our best to make sure that these do not pose as much of a problem as they could otherwise, because if I'm remembering correctly, they regenerate fairly fast, and I'm not a fan of that. For anybody worried that the spook factor wasn't quite high enough, yeah, now we've got these friendly-looking co-workers. Nice and dealt with. I said nice and dealt with. Thank you. So right now, we're out of weapon space. It's interesting that I did not notice that. Let's also see what we can do about upgrading some of what we have here as well. We have currently a 24% and an 11%. Health boost would be a net gain. Shield efficiency would be quite helpful too. Energy gain would be good. Let's see what we can do with you, though. 11, 11, 11. They're all about the same, so we're just going to get rid of these. So we just don't need them. Free up some inventory space. We have a better one of those equipped right now. And then I think a 20% health boost is going to be more helpful than the healing amount. So let's swap for that. And then do a little bit more to clear out excess baggage. Looks good to me. We are set. There's quite a few of you, aren't there? Far away because you are particularly deadly. Remember them. We do need to cut through this direction. And this direction is particularly unkind, so I'm gonna play it a little bit slower because it's easy enough to kind of get caught up in things. I do need to clear my weapon mod space as well, but I'll take care of that another time.
P6 is what the Bureau calls Dylan. His cell's been breached. Has the Hiss found him? Are you there with him? Can you protect him?
So right now, we are where we need to be. We need to move upwards just a bit more. But first, we're going to go ahead and open this. So now we don't have to go quite as roundabout to get all the way through. Pretty sure that also means, yep, there is a collectible right here. Let's see what we got. Not bad. We can open those shelters and go in to see if there's any loot. For you folks who are just joining me today, I'm going out of my way to not try to go off the beaten path as much because it'll take longer. And now, Goofy, now that you're here and enjoying things, provided you are still here, it's okay either way, we are going to go to another portion of the workplace called the Ocean View Motel. It operates on the rule of threes. We're going to do this a second time. And now we are where we need to be. Now, the rule of threes changes each time. Sometimes it's one room, other times it might be something else. If you notice the shadows down the hallway, right now the bell is opening those other doors. So we are going to check things out. 223 looking like it might need a little bit of cleaning. I'm sure we'll figure that out when we need to, if we need to. It's the third room, so we're going to go ahead and investigate that first. Just fixed the painting. It was an interactable object. Did anything change? Not quite yet. So let's see what else we can do. Check out the first room next. It looks like we might have gotten what we needed. Couldn't quite tell if that was the key, but we're going to check it anyway. As usual, we're going to go into the Black Pyramid room. That is where we needed to go. We're going to look once, twice, and back to work. You'll notice that a once closed door is open, and you'll also notice that we are in another portion of the building, much like how we got to the Black Rock Quarry.
If things as hard for him as they were for me, maybe in here they were even harder.
We're going to speak with this kind supervisor right here.
Oh, hello.
Langston's going to help us get some stuff sorted out.
I'm Jesse, the new director. I need to get inside.
New director. Right. Well, okay. Hello, I'm Frederick Langston, the Panopticon supervisor. It's not the best...
Real quick, nobody's noticed any audio feedback through the microphone, have they? I want to make sure that it's not picking up the TV on my end.
You're the director, so here we go.
I know I'm at a bit of a low viewer threshold right now, but I'd still like to check with anybody who is still kind enough to be present.
I don't have time for this.
I was told Dylan Faden was kept here. Can you help me find him?
Faden? Sure. Darling wanted him somewhere secure and isolated away from people. He's in the maximum security cells, upper level. But there's currently a pressing matter, ma'am. We've got an object of power loose in there. It's wrecking the place. The Benikoff TV, it's a real doozy. Salvador took a team in to handle it, but no one's heard from them for hours. This is a category...
I'm going to go ahead and assume, Tenkai, that means that everything is all chill.
It will tear the Panopticon apart. And we don't want all those altered items getting loose, ma'am. No, trust me.
Dylan's in there.
Open the door, Langston. I'll handle it.
If you say so. I usually tell first-timers not to touch anything, so... Just do that.
Oh, it's just outstanding. I love it.
And please, ma'am, call me Fred.
Thanks, Langston.
We don't need to speak to him again. We're not going anywhere else right now. We are going to pick up this report just because it's right there. Can't hurt. What does this safety poster say? Is that a stapler or an altered item? Don't take office equipment outside the building. Always a good safety tip. Oh, I've never noticed this actually. Good details. Anyway.
Dylan's close. But that object of power might wreck this place before I find him.
The Panopticon is a quite secure location where things are locked away and researched as needed. It's always good to play it extra safe with the more dangerous items that the Bureau controls. Fortunately, it is not immune to all of the terrible things that are going on because of the Hiss incursion. We are going to do what we can to help out the Panopticon because it is quite an important place. I prefer to do that without you dealing more damage than you would need to. Should ideally be nothing, but you know how it goes. up some raw material just in case I do eventually want to be upgrading my weapons. Service weapon compatibility is always tantamount. We're not getting from behind at all. And while we're here, might as well have a look at some of what else is in the Panopticon. Got a mailbox. It's another altered item, almost certainly. Be nice to know what it did, but not every report is always going to be available. We have a picnic basket. Again, no available report, but I'm sure it's here for a very important reason. 1 to 15 is a standing fan. Might be very dangerous, so we should probably leave that alone. We have a carnival hammer, it looks like. Still no report. Already a weapon, so I don't want to think too much about what that could do. We're going to go up to floor 4.
Something went wrong with the Bureau's plan.
Already going pretty far up.
Marshall made it sound like it was all Dylan's fault, but how much of it was what the Bureau did to him? I don't think she's telling me everything.
Already looks like we've got some visitors waiting for us. That's just fine. We'll respond as needed. I am sure everything will be just fine. And here we are on level 4. We're going to go backwards, pick up some more materials just in case they're what we need. I don't actually think I picked that up. Can I? Oh, you are shatter recoil effect. Actually, that I do want to clear some inventory space up for really fast because that is actively something that we're using. So let's go down to the bottom. Get rid of some of these redundant abilities. We do not need terribly many of them. Get rid of those. Get rid of you. I am going to sit on having both of those. Just to see a little bit later on what we can do with that. Now we're going to pick that up. Recoil efficiency once again. Check on that. So currently it's 20 and that one's 24. That is outstanding. That is a total upgrade. Accuracy boost wouldn't be terrible. I think we're good with ammo cost per hit still. What is this safety notice? I'd like to get a good look at that really fast. Come on. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Only open one containment locker at a time. I'm sure that with everything going on, we are still good. Outside of the fact that this one seems to be empty, but it might have been already, so that's not nothing to worry too much about.
Is anyone there?
And, this might be worth helping with.
What are you doing in there?
Oh, thank God! Look, someone has to watch this object at all times, or it deviates. My shifter blades have never showed up. Can you help me?
Damn. I can't, I'm sorry. There's an emergency. I'll come back, I promise.
Okay, just don't forget. I can't stare at this thing much longer.
I would like to deal with this now if I can. So I do know that this is, like, that is an actual side quest. I don't know if I need to be tracking it. Sterilize crucibles with incantation 310-1A before reusing. That's probably a good safety tip. We'll come back later. It's right near this control point. just gonna grab really quickly. He's protecting us from the fridge more than anything. Rather than being selfish, he's being quite selfless, I would like to point out. The gentleman is going above and beyond. His shift ended quite some time ago, but he knows the danger of not following procedure and is being quite helpful. Definitely like to grab you if I can. I don't think you count as a small enemy, but we will get you out of the air all the same. Did your teammate actually take care of him? No, you're over there. There will eventually be an upgrade that makes it you to stop moving around so much. Please. There we go. That's going to make it so that I can control larger opponents, and I'm pretty sure that large just means special, which in that one's case, like, he's not a foot soldier on the ground or anything like that. Just through there real fast. So presumably he will become a valid target once that upgrade is unlocked, and that is something that I'm going for because it's on the same path as more than one at a time, which, as I've already mentioned, I want quite badly. Your ally behind? Okay, because I would rather not get flanked right now. This is a dangerous enough area as it is. Oof! Rough. Took him out like a saw blade. This is the way we need to be going. I want to do a quick peek. No, we're good. There's a lot of other stuff to explore in that area by going down, but like I said, I don't want to go too far off the beaten path and just do what I can. Anyway, here's the TV.
I need to cleanse it.
Which is a remarkably sinister room for making a TV something to be feared and respected. It's, again, just absolutely fucking excellent game design. The TV is a particularly interesting moment. But like with everything else in the workplace, we are going to deal with it calmly and efficiently. Breaking the act for a moment, Jesus Christ, I love this game so much. This is so much cooler than a TV has any right to be. And also just actively gorgeous for what is essentially just a bunch of rectangles. Let's go take care of this. So wild. Alright, so I am going to quickly swap weapons. Level 1 Pierce. You already have a pretty decent version of this. Is there anything beefier? Consecutive kill boost? No, I think we're good. I would like to start seem relatively powerful. How much damage can we do preemptively, if at all? We might not be able to, because this is more or less a boss fight. Okay, yeah. They are ones that I have in the past taken out. Now that I'm in the room, is anything different? Oh, I need to activate them. That's a shame. We'll try out Pierce for a little bit, see how that goes. So unfortunately, Salvador is the co-worker that we were searching for. The one that was mentioned had a team that came to investigate the Benikoff TV and never returned. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that Salvador gets the severance package he needs. It is always difficult to deal with this type of thing, but it does happen. Heavier hits that Salvador is throwing our way. Grab you, get some fresh teamwork rolling. Oh shit, okay, and get flanked by the boss. That is my bad. Having the audio a little bit on the lower side really does impact how easy some of the combat is, but that's fine, I will deal with it. Back through really fast. Don't remember if we need to watch the entire cinematic again. I will say I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that happening because it's so particularly cool. This is the way we're going, I think. Yeah, fortified units. This is it. So thankfully we at least don't have to deal with the combat a second time. At least not on the bridge. And no, okay, the cinematic is already fired, so all we need to do is climb back up and go that direction. And I'm pretty positive that the upgrade that we're going to get out of this is a very particularly helpful one, so I'm completely okay with what's going on right now. It's a worthwhile fight. It just so happens to be, let's say, comfortably difficult. Try to get as many chunks of damage off as we can. Oh, or Jesus, just get immediately blown away. You know what? This kind of workplace hostility demands a level 3 spook watch level. So let's ratchet that up to make sure that everybody is aware of the danger in the room. Wrong way again. Actually, let me see. I don't know if this one changes based on story progression. Okay, no, it doesn't work right away. Even if I have a different waypoint marker active, I need this first. Which might mean that the skill that I'm getting out of it, if it's the one that I'm thinking of, is a requirement for completing that portion. It's interesting that one enemy respawned. Really? What? Also, that's the floor. Just to kind of reiterate how powerful these items are. The TV is no joke. I do remember this particular fight being quite difficult last time I did it as well, so I'm glad that it's at least consistent. Keep Salvador on his toes. saw him looping around, but I was mistaken. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. Alright. I know it might seem a bit of a waste of time trying to deal with the mooks, but I'm trying to minimize how much fire is being poured my way the entire time. There's a lot going on in here, and I would, like to not have to deal with it quite as much. I think I am going to swap over to the shotgun and try my best to sunder through the rest of these opponents. Because I am losing resources as I die, which is a mechanic that I forgot, but I'm not surprised by. So let's swap to Shatter. You. I seem to be dying enough where having the boosted health isn't really that much of an issue, so maybe energy recovery will help so I can throw more frequently. And also, maybe it might be possible to check on... Oh, I can upgrade Pierce. That could be useful. Let's go with you. Okay, I don't have enough source to deal with that. But I can now change my primary weapon. We'll try you, just to see. We will give you spin grouping accuracy, rate of fire. Let's say accuracy. That's probably going to do some heavy lifting right now. So hopefully spin and shatter are going to give us the extra kick we need right now. Try this one more time. Love the way spin works. Try and get in this way. Immediately deal with some of that shield. Oh! Lord. It is astonishing how much damage he's dealing. I'm almost wondering if I'm up under level for this. I might need to go my way to get some extra upgrades or something. My God. Oh, Jesus. These are like 2 shots. I'm trying to think what I could be doing differently, because just throwing myself against it isn't going to do any good or be any interesting to watch. I really do wish I could do that right now, but it's fine. I also kind of wish that I had gone through more upgrades before losing more ability. or more source rather, which is your currency. But that's just where we're at. I will do my best to deal with it. I just need to be a lot more twitchy with my dodging, I suppose. Do our best to take you out proper so that there's less combatants on the field. I killed you too fast. Still helpful. Not what I wanted. Shield. Do a little bit more damage. Almost too efficient. Spin is doing some work right now. Yeah, just being twitchy is definitely the way to go. Make sure I'm also keeping an eye on where he is at any given time. Oh, get back into cover. Grab another ally. So I think the other one got taken out rather. Here, pop you, destroy you. Where is he? I don't like that I lost track of him. He's over on the far side. We have some healing items too. We've got still a team. He made with a rocket launcher. That was a lucky pull. I wasn't even intentionally aiming for that. We need to drop Salvador's shield again. Much like that. Let's stay in cover. Just take a moment. Oh, didn't drop it, and he's coming over here. Out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. Need to make sure you're plenty heavy. Really shaving him down. That. Some more work. More weight. Really pour that on. Shave me down more. Oh man. Shoot. Okay, get some distance. Sufficiently heavy object. Shield is dropped. Oh, getting thrown. This is so much better than last time. Got him.
That thing was Salvador, the head of security.
Good lord.
This team didn't stand a chance against the Hiss. No one here does.
Sorry, Salvador. You gave me quite a bit of grief. Let's take care of you. Well,
okay. TV.
This
Another
first.
Power going nuts.
Now let's take care of the TV. God, just such a good, so dope. TV/babysitter. Okay, yeah, this is exactly what I thought. So now we can hover. I guess levitate, because that is quite literally what it's being called. Remarkably helpful ability. and also toggleable, which I really appreciate. Also means that fall damage is going to be not negligible, but something that is much easier mitigated. There are range restrictions to it. I can't remember the precise criteria, but it's pretty generous, especially starting out. And I forgot how good Spin was, so I am probably going to do what I can to upgrade this construct first. As much as having the normal sidearm version is, I am definitely in favor of how much damage this is pouring out. Plus, it just looks really cool. You cover my escape. And now we can levitate.
Okay, dealt with the TV. Now I can find Dylan.
Out of the twisted passage. And now we might be able to take care of the fridge as well. And we'll see how well that goes. Need to take fall damage there. Not particularly worried about you. I'm just gonna leave. You heard me. So we do want to go that way. We might still not be able to do the fridge, but I want to see if the determining factor for it was not being able to levitate. It might be story progression. I'm not 100% sure. Let's also just touch the control point. I don't know if that's going to force anything major, but hey. It's story progression. I might need to talk to the head of this department in order to get that going through the proper channels and all that. So right now we're just going to keep progressing on Golden Path, and that'll probably be it for the evening at this rate. Support couldn't hurt. Need to reach the 5th floor, which we're already on. To not be a pain in my ass. Looks like we've got some more items. We've got this lovely swan boat. Might not have the proper safety equipment for a vehicle. We have a mylar balloon, a get well soon one no less. Could be considered a choking hazard. Water cooler, distractions at work, unnecessary conversational breaks. I can see why that might be a problem. We have a crowbar. Everybody knows what that's capable of.
Dylan. He's so close.
It's that way. Can't go that way. I don't think anything's over here, so we're good. on here, geometry? We're going to call that an altered item problem. And we are going to enter this cell. And get that much farther in the story. Quite a few things going on over here.
Hello? Can you hear me? Are you there? Jesse?
Emily?
We've got Pope on the wire.
Come on, Dylan isn't here. He might be nearby. Or maybe the hiss got to him. I don't know.
Jesse, listen. Dylan's here. With us. He just walked in. He says he is giving himself up. He's been affected by the hiss, but he is different
Deeply
than
appreciate the atmosphere getting pulled in here.
I'm on my way.
So we know where our brother is.
We need to get back.
And we know that some particularly unideal things might be happening. And unfortunately, we are also unable to open that locked door just yet, which means we will be back here. Also, hello, new viewer. I don't know if you are somebody who's returning or showing up for the first time, but thank you for joining me all the same. I'm going to take a quick peek through this room while we're here, just in case there's anything we can pick up right now. I think it might just be minor collectibles. But I'd like to be safe just in case. Because I do definitely remember there being a combat situation in this room.
Like I said, I want to talk about Jessie, your sister.
But I think right now the game totally just wants me to go back to Central Executives. Let's get where we need to go. I'm sure we'll have a couple obstructions on the way. It never ceases to stop happening. Just gotta wait for the exit to open. I think it might reach too spooky once we find out a little bit more about precisely what's going on. Too spooky is a level that should be used with caution. I'm just gonna take a quick shortcut back down to 4. And we're gonna do that. Hopefully more safely than not. I took a wrong turn. That's a shame. This way, we don't need to fight anybody else right now. Although I could use the pocket change. Couldn't hurt to pick up a little bit of extra spending. Oh! Damage isn't as I thought it could be. Let's pick you up to cover my exit. Oof. Okay, not the worst. Head back over, see if we can deal with the fridge. Very least, we can fast travel from here.
Keep your eyes open.
Okay, it sounds like there might be more progress to be made there.
Oh.
We're gonna help out Philip.
Hey, what can I do?
Oh, you're back. Oh, thank you, thank you. If I look away, I don't know what this thing will do. You have to get me out of here. The door can only be opened by the Panopticon supervisor. That's Langston, if he's still around.
Langston. Yeah, I know him. I'll go ask him how to get you out.
Please hurry. My eyes, they can't.
Hey, calm down. Just focus. What's your name?
Focus. Right. My name's Philip, and I think I can hold on for a bit. It's just my eyes. My eyes hurt so much.
Yeah, we are going to do everything we can to help out Philip. He's just a good guy doing his job. We're going to go down, talk to Langston, and get this sorted out. In fact, can I do that via fast travel? Ooh, though, really quick. We have more ability tree going on here. Right now, I do still want to get to multiple as quickly as I can. Because more teammates means more productive. So, fast travel. Panopticon. Okay, we're at the upper. We need to go down below. Help if I... Oh, that was very quick. My god, PS5. Jesus, I didn't even think that worked right. It's literally instantaneous.
You guys didn't bring, like, checkers or anything, did you?
Any active duty
Alright.
security person.
Hey, Langston. How are we helping out our boy Phil?
Someone named Philip up in a cell. He's watching a refrigerator and very rapidly losing it.
Philip? Oh, shit, I forgot about fridge duty. He's been in there for over a day. I totally forgot.
You forgot about him?
There's a lot going on. The hiss, the Benikoff TV. Considering the number of things I'm juggling, ma'am, I think it's...
Listen, it's fine. We just need to get him out of there. He said you'd be able to open the cell door?
Yeah, I can unlock it on
We're
my...
getting Philip out of there.
There. Done. Door open. But Philip can't just leave. The fridge is behaving erratically. Ocular contact is the only thing that seems to placate it. If we don't have someone in there watching it 24/7, people will die.
I'll figure something out.
Because, you know, altered items are fucking terrifying.
Isn't standard bureau procedure, ma'am.
He doesn't know us very well.
Okay. We're not going to worry about any of this extra dialogue because that is time-consuming and we are reaching the end of the stream for this evening, but I do want very much to help out our boy if we can help it. So we're going to go back up to the upper panopticon because now the door is open. That instantaneous movement is honestly mind-blowing to me. We are going to go in.
Jesse?
I'm back. I'm coming in.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you.
We're going for it.
Jesse? The fridge is doing something!
Philip?
I cannot believe
It hurts me.
that you fucked over my boy Philip. Oh, I remember this, I think.
This sounds like the board, but I can't understand it.
Fuck?
I may or may not have forgotten how intricate the fridge is. Hoping that we can deal with this because it's more than a large problem. I'd say in more than one sense of the word. In fact, large enough where I think we are closing our evening out at Spookwatch level 4. We are at max Spookwatch. This is not a drill. The fridge is fully active. We need to do what we can to take care of it. My god, did I forget about the fridge. To be grabbing those more effectively. Aim isn't the best right now. Oh, damn it. Found the hole in the floor. So that's a big portion of what's going on with this fight as well. I just wasn't looking down enough to figure that out again in time. But yeah, anytime it does that ground slam, floor is removed. what? It is exactly 9, and that's a good stinger. I think I might want to save the rest of the fridge for the next stream, because I think that will be a good selling point. So I am going to call it here for the evening, with that as a teaser for what is going to occur next time. I'm glad you were able to chill and join, and yeah, definitely see you as well. I appreciate you hanging out. I will, as usual, let everybody know when I'm about to be going live again. Thank you for joining.